Hey there my friends, Erich Andreas, your guitar sage here, and today I'm going to show you how to alternate or walk your bass lines when you're playing guitar. So this is a concept that is used a lot in many different styles, in blues, in jazz, in bluegrass, in country and western swing, all sorts. And most styles, most genres do this differently, which lends itself to that specific genre and that specific sound. For today's lesson, I'm going to be showing you more of like the country western bluegrass style of alternating the bass line, which is basically going back and forth between the 1 of the chord and the 5 of the chord. Now, you don't need to know a lot of technical jargon per se in order to do this. Using the attachments that are related to this video, you'll be able to do this very quickly and very easily with any chord at a moment's notice, okay? And the couple of ways that you'll do this is with the major scale, and the other one is what I call the magic Z or bolt method, okay? And both of those you'll see attached to this video. Now, the sound that we're looking for is similar to if you've heard Folsom Prison Blues, which for today's lesson we're going to be using a 12-bar blues. We'll be using it in the same tempo as Folsom Prison Blues. So it will sound very similar, but really the Folsom Prison Blues is a blues, a 12-bar blues progression. And we'll be using the chords E major, A major, and B7. Okay? Now, the sound is something like this. So you hear that bouncing bass line? And it's a very simple methodology, but it makes it sound really cool, especially if you're going for that country western or bluegrass style of playing, okay? Now you could use this for rock as well, but primarily that's what we're going to be using this for, is country western, okay? So, there's 2 different ways you can do this. One, you can use the corresponding major scale for the chord. So for instance, if we wanted to find what the 5 of the chord is for a G chord, we'd use the G major scale and go up 5 scale notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Refer to the PDF that I've given you here. And that note right there, which is a D, would be the 5 of the chord. So if I was using a bar chord, I could do this. Okay? Or a simplified strum would be. Or if I was playing this G chord, I could hit the G and then the open D. Okay? So, and using the magic Z, or what I call the bolt method, if any note that you're on the 6th, 5, or 4th string, basically you can go down 1 string and up 2 frets to find the 5. So if I'm at this G, I go down 1 string and up 2 frets to find the 5. If I'm on a C and I want to find what the 5 is, I go, here's my C, I go down 1 string and up 2 frets. It's a G. Or I could also just go back 1 string. So check out the diagram that I've included for this, okay? So for instance, if I'm on an E major, my 2 notes using the method that I just talked about is the E and the B. So if I'm playing the E chord here, I'm going to play E for the bass note, chord, B, chord, E, chord, B, chord, E, chord, B, chord. Now you see me muting that 6th string here. You can do that or you don't have to. It's just a habit of mine that I do sometimes, just to make sure that I can actually get a little bit lazier and hit that note there. Okay, so I don't have to have my thumb muting that, but it makes things a little bit cleaner sometimes if you're a little bit less accurate with your picking hand. Now, This is not a perfect science, so it may be that you end up hitting another note in the chord. Typically, in styles of music where there's an alternating bass line, the bass player is playing the same exact line but an octave lower. So typically there's going to be a support system there for you. You want to go for those notes, but if you end up not hitting that note sometimes, you're typically going to be hitting another note in the chord, and no one in the audience is going to know that you hit the wrong note, because it's not really a wrong note. It's just not the optimal note. Okay. So if we're playing an A major now, our two notes would be A and E. And if this is my A note, I'm going to go down one string and up 2 frets. There's an E, or I could hit the low E, which is the E string. That's the one I'm going to play. So I prefer the lower notes. And for this style, you'll typically do that as well. So here's an A, E, A, E, A, E. Now you see me muting with my thumb again. You don't have to do that. It's more just a habit of mine. Okay? So and then with the B7, referring to your PDF, of course, we can, if this is our B, we can go down one string and up 2 frets to an F sharp, or there's an F sharp right there, and very easily so it'll sound something like this. An A chord, E chord, B7, E. Now, it'll take some time, obviously, to develop this. At first, there's a lot to think about because you're hitting a note and then hitting the rest of the chord. Take your time with this. Like this exercise and anything on the guitar, remember, you can do it. You can do anything on this guitar. Anything that you see another guitar player do, you totally can 100% do if you have the right instruction and you do the practice to show yourself approved. I promise you that. All right, I'll see you in another video. I'm Erich Andreas, your guitar sage.